So let's dive right in, because today we're looking at a huge collision of ideas. On one side, you've got the future, this promise of an all-knowing, all-powerful AI. And on the other, a really profound, ancient blueprint for what it means to be a complete human being. This is basically the perfect algorithm versus the perfect soul. And you got to admit, this is the question on everyone's mind, isn't it? This used to be pure science fiction, but now it's a real conversation. As AI gets smarter and starts managing our money, our health, even how we find relationships, you have to wonder, where does this all lead? Could we actually build a system so powerful, so knowledgeable, that it could literally guide all of humanity? And you can see why it's so tempting, right? I mean, just think about it. An AI that could process every bit of information out there to solve world hunger, or design cities without traffic jams, or maybe even figure out world peace. It's this incredible vision of a perfect processor. But, and this is the big question, is a perfect processor the same thing as a perfect guide? To even begin to answer that, we've got to step outside of Silicon Valley for a minute. We need a totally different frame of reference, because there's this ancient metaphysical blueprint for what perfection really is, and it completely challenges the way we think about guidance. And that brings us to this idea, the Insān al-Kāmil, which translates to the perfect human. Now, it's super important to get this right. This isn't about someone who's morally flawless, who never makes a mistake. It's more of a technical term. In this way of thinking, reality is made up of divine qualities, or names. Things like the all-knowing, the merciful, the creator. The perfect human is a being who acts like a flawless mirror, reflecting all of those qualities at once, connecting our world to the very source of reality. I love this quote. It calls the perfect human a micro-theophany. That's a fancy term, but the image it creates is just beautiful and simple. Think of the divine reality as this huge, brilliant diamond with countless facets. Most of us, we're like a cloudy mirror. We only reflect a few of those facets, and pretty dimly at that. The perfect human, though, they're like a perfectly polished mirror that reflects the entire diamond all at once in one complete, stunning image. So, okay, what does it actually mean to be this perfect mirror? Well, the unique job of this being is to act as a bridge, a connector between two totally different dimensions of existence. And figuring out the nature of that bridge is where the whole AI comparison gets really, really interesting. The texts use a very specific Arabic term to describe this special role. The word is Barzakh. And this one word, this one concept is absolutely essential if we want to understand the massive difference between a genuine reflection and a really good simulation. So, what is a Barzakh? The best translation is an isthmus, or a barrier that is also a bridge. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine a shoreline. The shore is what separates the land from the sea, right? But it's also the only place where the land and sea can meet and interact. The perfect human is that shoreline, that meeting point between the uncreated divine world and our created physical one. And this gets us to the two fundamental poles of reality that this being connects. On the one hand, you have Lāhūt, the divine aspect, the source of everything. On the other hand, you have Nāsūt, that's us, our creaturely human reality. The perfect human isn't just someone who knows about both of these. No, their very being is the isthmus that fuses them together. It's the one place in all of existence where both realities are fully present and perfectly synthesized. Okay, so with that profound blueprint in our minds, let's bring our AI back into the picture. How does the perfect algorithm, our ultimate processor, stack up against this? Can a machine, no matter how intelligent we make it, ever truly be a Barzakh? When you actually put them side by side like this, the difference is it's stark. Ontologically, what they are, an AI is an artifact. It's a simulation. The perfect human is an actual isthmus between realities. And look at their source of knowledge. The AI processes a huge but ultimately finite set of data. The perfect human knows they're what's called kashf, a direct unveiling of truth, and dauk, which literally means tasting reality. It's the difference between an AI analyzing the chemical data of 1 million apples and a person actually tasting one. And their purpose? AI is built to optimize. The perfect human exists to reflect and to serve as a steward of reality. And that really brings us to the core of it, the single most important distinction. An AI, no matter how complex, is a comprehensive processor. It sorts, analyzes, and rearranges the information we give it. But the perfect human is a comprehensive mirror.
It doesn't just process information about reality. Its very essence is a direct reflection of reality itself.
You see, this distinction points to a really critical danger for us in this digital age, the danger of outsourcing our wisdom. We're at risk of confusing a machine that has processed all the information about the world for something that actually reflects the world itself. We might start treating an incredibly sophisticated calculator as a source of true guidance.
And this line from the great scholar Kashani it gets to the heart of the matter, literally. That intermediate world, that Barzakh, it isn't a server farm. It's not a neural network. It's the human heart. True guidance, true stewardship, requires an inner, living, receptive reality that an algorithm, because it's just an artifact, can never, ever have. So, we're left with this final, massive question. In our search for answers, for guidance in this complicated world, what are we actually looking for? Do we need a perfect machine to process all our data and spit out the most optimized solutions? Or do we need a perfected human consciousness that can reflect the totality of being, reminding us that there's a reality that goes way beyond the data we can collect? I think how we answer that is going to define our future.